So you don't have the money to pay the interest. You can't pay off the debt. So you're in this trap where you have to, everything is about managing the debt. From 2008 onwards, the number of these ridiculous parts of the plumbing system that got invented to stop that bit broke, and then that bit broke, and that bit broke. It's because the whole bloody thing is broken and we're just trying to tape it up.
Welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we'll hear the latest prediction from Real Vision CEO Raoul and how crypto will play a massive role in the coming months. Raoul also discusses critical economic issues we're seeing and the role Bitcoin and cryptocurrency will play in addressing them. Powell identifies his entry into the world of crypto as a response to the massive problem of escalating debt, a concern that emerged following the 2008 financial crisis. He emphasizes that various mechanisms were invented to manage this debt crisis, but they only served as temporary fixes for a fundamentally broken system. He points out that central bank interventions have also resulted in wealth disparities, as assets appreciate while wages stagnate. Raoul has seen a huge decline in purchasing power of currencies, and doubles down that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies offer an alternative, particularly in the face of increasing debt burdens and aging populations. Powell also points out two factors specific to the crypto market that will contribute to the coming bull run, which will bring in massive gains for crypto investors. Let's get into the latest interview with Raoul as he gives his prediction and economic outlook for 2023 and where his targeted investment strategy for crypto is headed, leading into the Bitcoin halving of 2024. Don't forget to share your thoughts and comments down below, and leave a like if you enjoy the content we do here.
I saw this coming back from 2008, 2012 is why I got into crypto. I got into crypto for this. You could see that the end game of the debt make it impossible to deal with. Now, most people think there's a debt default. I don't think there is a debt default. I just think that the use of central bank balance sheet goes exponential, which increases the cost of assets, but nobody's wages go up. It's like a mutualization of these interest payments across the general population without raising taxes. It's the same thing.
And by the way, the decline in purchasing power in the currency.
But rich people hold assets, so they're protected. The less well off have incomes. Their incomes don't go up as much as the assets, so they're poorer. That's where we're getting this income disparity, wealth disparity, and it keeps increasing, and it's not going to stop for a while. And even at the nation state level, as you borrow more money because you're not getting enough taxes because the economy is growing slowly because it's an aging population, so its trend rate of GDP growth goes down. So they're all in a trap, and it all kicked off in 2008 when most of the developed world hit 100% of GDP in debt. And then we had a debt jubilee. Debt jubilees are normally, you don't need to pay your debts back. The debt jubilee we got in 2008, it only recently made me realize what it was. It's like you don't need to pay the interest. We're going to make interest cost zero. And then after that, we're going to monetize all the interest by printing money. So you don't pay any interest, so we can manage the system, but it has a lot of unintended consequences. If GDP growth is driven by the magic formula of population growth plus productivity growth plus debt growth reached its limits in 2008. So basically all debt growth now is just interest payments. They issue new bonds to pay the interest. Then you've got demographics, which mean that population growth over time slows down and in many countries goes negative. So then the only way of driving GDP higher, because your debt to GDP matters for that, the only way of doing it, because GDP is all of the income that pays the debt. So GDP growth pays the services, the debt interests. The only way is productivity, and the only way of doing that.
Are you still interested in Solana?
Yes, it's still my second largest holding. I really like it. It reminds me a lot of ETH in 2018. I think there's a huge amount of activity. I think Tolly has proven himself to be one of the better leaders and thinkers in this space, kind of in the Vitalik mode. I think that the developer activity is great. I think on-chain activity is great. The innovation is great. So there is a probabilistic outcome that it does well. Doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. But so, yes, I'm still very interested in Solana. So I'm 100% high growth, high risk. Never used to be. But I've got income, and I've also seen what I think is the biggest macro setup of all time, which is the exponential age meets crypto meets quantitative easing. Those are so explosive, and I think it repeats over the next few years, that I want to have all of my excess savings in that, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to me. Now, and that's proven out. I've been that same way since 2020, and it's been very well. I'm still up huge amounts in my crypto positions. Technology positions I only started last year. they're all up a lot. Let's see, if I can stay on the ball and it works out. But that's my thesis, and I have an income stream, so I'll use it that way. I'm lucky enough to have houses paid for and stuff like that, so I have to worry less about the future part of that. Other people, if you're much younger, then that asset allocation makes sense, because if you're buying a 401k, then your excess savings should be in taking huge risk, as long as you've got security around, where you live, your job, and maybe your 401k investments as your retirement future. But then you can take risk. People in the middle wouldn't do that. I would be much more risk averse. I've got security of assets for my future security, and I've got security of income. So therefore, if I want to take a larger speculative bet, I can, because I think the opportunity set is outsized. And as I said, if you're younger, you can take a risk because you've got plenty of time. If you lose some of that capital, if it all goes wrong, you've got time to do that. So young people should take risk. It's the middle stage, that kind of 40 to 60. It really depends on your own setup, where you are in your life journey. Don't go for the Hail Mary trade and hope it works out, because that doesn't work. You need to structure these things. So you structure your life as a portfolio. But if you're in the middle there, you structure your portfolio really carefully as well. I don't know when the BlackRock ETF comes. I mean, it's just a ludicrous waste of everybody's energy, the slowness of the SEC in approving stuff. But we'll look back in a year's time, and it won't matter what date it was. The next catalyst of Bitcoin could be anything. I have no idea. It could be the Fed cutting rates. It could be the bond market losing control and people wanting that. It could be anything. But I'm just not a short-term guy, The last time I traded crypto was January, when I was adding. I added in June, October, and January. I just don't trade it. I just buy and hold it and observe. And just everybody gets so wound up about prices. The easiest thing is just buy the stuff, stick it in your ledger, just not do anything. It's a lot less stressful as well, particularly if you're not using leverage. It's so easy.
Pal expresses strong interest in Solana, likening it to the early days of Ethereum. He praises the platform's leader, highlighting its potential for innovation and growth. With his high-growth, high-risk investment strategy, Pal is deeply invested in cryptocurrencies due to their potential in an era of exponential technological advancement and unprecedented monetary policies. When it comes to Bitcoin ETFs, however, Pal believes the sluggish regulatory process portrays a massive, uncertain impact on the market. He emphasizes that while short-term price fluctuations capture attention, the most stress-free and potentially rewarding approach is a long-term investment strategy. In such an environment, Pal believes that tech and crypto assets are the best options for preserving and increasing wealth. These asset classes are better equipped to counteract constant fiat devaluation, presenting opportunities for real growth. What do you think about the latest interview with Raoul Pal? And how do you see the current economic challenges posing a problem for cryptocurrency in the last part of 2023? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next video.